Onyx Michelle here. Guys, really, really, please, you guys are too kind. You're too kind. Everyone, please take their seats and let's get into this review. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm fresh off a Janet Jackson concert, so I'm a little out of control. All right, I'm gonna stop now. I'm not the singer, obviously. But that Janet Jackson concert, though, seriously, if she's coming to your city, I advise you to go see it. You will not regret it. Janet says she's 58 and still serving, and she ain't never lied, y'all. It was absolutely amazing. Also, Nelly opened for the show, and he did about a 45-minute set. He was equally as good. Him and his crew, Murphy Lee and all the rest of them, I was very happy to see them. I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all have a chance, beg, borrow, don't steal. Don't steal, because what's the sense of you getting your ass whipped and can't make it to the show anyway? You know what I'm saying? I'm only trying to make the point that it's worth the price of admission. That's it, that's all. Now back to Deb's house. So it opens with a recap of last week, and y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I had myself a nice little giggle at Miss Alexa from last week. Her performance was too funny. The actual season 5 episode picks up where we left off last week with Honeybee doing her little bobblehead dance, right? She over there with the whole, but you won't, but you won't, but you won't. She over there going so clown crazy that when she got slapped, she wasn't even expecting it. She didn't even see it coming, y'all. Like, she had her eyes closed, and once she got tapped, that's when she realized something happened, and she opened her eyes, and she started to fake spaz, right? But please, someone, do tell. Where they do that at? Like, how you arguing with your eyes closed? Huh? I'm like, what's happening? So now Chalk is happy with her handiwork, right? She says she did it for the team and she did it for Deb, which nobody asked her to do any of it. It was totally unnecessary and unwarranted, in my opinion. Anyway, Deb begins to explain, and I use the word explain very loosely because it was more like a spin on the selection process, how the girls came to be selected in the first place, including Alexa and Honeybee, which Deb ends up admitting obviously didn't work. So they're having this powwow, and they go around the room, and all of the girls pretty much express how they feel regarding this situation. And that's where they leave it for now. In the next scene, it's time for Miss Electra to exit stage left. And y'all, she is more than happy to do so, okay? Miss Girlfriend is ready to go. She is ready to go. She does not want to be there anyway. She says that Deb is not wrong for making her leave, but Deb is wrong for inviting her. And my thing is this. Like, Miss Girlfriend, you could have declined. You could have said no. You didn't have to accept the invitation. If you didn't want to be there, then you should have just not have come. She says if she had it to do all over again, then she would have stuck to her guns and not came. Which, her decision. It is what it is at this point. Deb meets Electra at the car, has a couple of parting words for her, and that's that. Okay, y'all, so this is the part that I didn't see coming. I have to admit, this part shocked me a little bit. After putting Electra in her Uber, Deb proceeds to go back inside and have a conversation with Chalk, telling her that she's hurt and that she has to chop her. She has to make her leave because under no circumstances is fighting allowed. Both Deb and Chop, I called her Chop. I mean, at this point, it's befitting. She's been chopped twice, so maybe she should change her name from Chalk to Chop. What y'all think? Anyway, both Deb and Chalk are emotional. They start to cry. All the girls surround Chalk, and Rocky is having like this hood pep talk with her, telling her about standing on business. And my thing is, you were tough enough to hit this girl in her face, but now that the consequences are here, you don't want to deal with them and you're crying like a baby. Like, she was crying hysterically, y'all. On Chalk's way out, she stops by Deb, and Deb tells her that she's out of the show, but she's not out of her life. So I'm guessing that she's gonna look out for her in some realm outside of this show, but for now she has to go. So now Deb is emotional and needs to take a break, okay? She says that she should have never put Honeybee and Electra on the show in the first place. Y'all, this whole slap scene and the subsequent fallout is like dragged out. We're still not even finished talking about it, because in the next scene, Deb ends up discussing it with Honeybee, and y'all, this was an encore performance. from Miss
Oh
Honeybee.
my
She started on the
God.
phone with Disneyland. They say it was a producer, but I'm saying Disney because she wasn't talking to nobody. But she was asking for the names of the girls because she wanted to press charges. Now, my thing is, if you want to press charges on Chalk, that's fine because she actually did lay hands on you. But what are you trying to press charges on Rocky for? She didn't do anything but bark like a dog. And as far as I know, that isn't against the law. Y'all, delusion is real in this house. Now you got Chalk saying how Honey Bee cost her spot. Excuse me, Miss Girlfriend, you cost yourself your spot. You tied your own hands behind your back when you slapped somebody in the face when you did not have to. You should have left Honeybee over there with her bobblehead dance with her eyes closed and not put your hands on her. It's really quite simple. With that said, this was a completely different Honeybee, y'all. Completely different. Like she went from Sinclair to Satan. Y'all remember Sinclair? We are living, hey, single. Like y'all remember Sinclair? Woo woo woo, woo woo woo, and all of the things, right? But she went out with the F bombs and back at ya, and she was big mad, y'all. Like big mad. I think that honestly, I think that she thought what she was the bull crap she was spewing was gonna make Deb change her mind and allow her to stay. She went into this whole spew about her asking Deb to help her and build her. I asked you to build me. I asked you to build me. It was ridiculous, and I promise you, my interpretation was not an exaggeration. That's exactly how she said it. And it was to no avail because Deb still made her leave. So, there's that. So now that three girls have finally left the building, Chop, Electra, and Honeybee, the remaining final four are sitting with Deb and discussing how they feel about losing three girls in one day. Deb puts a band-aid on it by announcing a studio challenge for the next day, which the girls are obviously excited about. The girls get up to leave when Deb asks Dank to stay behind and sit down and talk to her. She has a heart to heart with Dank about weight loss, about her weight issues, about Deb's own struggle and loss of almost 100 pounds. So shout out to Deb for that because as we all know, losing weight, especially that much weight, is not easy. Dank then opens up about her struggle. It seemed like she had said she had some weight loss surgery in the past, something done previously, but it wasn't clear as to what. However, now she's saying that she is contemplating or she's considering weight loss surgery. She was almost 600 pounds at one point and she lost some weight, but now because she realizes you have to be smaller, her words, not mine, you have to be smaller, that she wants to, have weight loss surgery to be successful. Notice I said successful, not healthy. Okay, guys, so now it's the next day, and the girls are in the studio to record their rhymes. Everybody's very excited about it, and Deb has a surprise for the girls. Drum roll, please. It's Tracy Morgan and his do-rag. Yo, Tracy Morgan was there. He was there, and he was giving them a pep talk about the industry, about them being authentic and them being themselves from the cradle to the grave. At the end of the conversation, at the end of the pep talk, he said that he wasn't there to hear himself talk, but yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. That's exactly what I felt like he was there to do. Anyway, it's time for the practice performances, which the girls still don't even know they have an actual show. All they know is that they're recording a song in the studio, right? So Rocky is up first. She does hers, and Dank offers to sing the chorus on her song, which she does, and she sounds pretty good at, in my opinion. Dank is up next to do her piece, followed by Queen Izzy and Who Camille. They were put together for some unknown reason. Honestly, it was kind of shaping up as a like Rocky and Dank versus Who Camille and Queen Izzy battle, which honestly I would have been here for. Like I would have liked to have seen that. It was kind of going in that direction, then it kind of like curtailed it, so it didn't. But had it gone there, I would have been happy to see that. I think that would have been what's up. I think the girls did a good job with their practice performances. Everybody pretty much rapped about their lives and things that were going on, with the exception of Camille, who says that, she doesn't have a sad story. So her coming here, her being here, it's just work for her. It's nothing more, nothing less. And okay. If that's what it is for her, that's what it is for her. They sit down after the practice performance, and this is where it kind of got a little bit heavy because Deb was talking about the loss of her two sons. For those of you who don't know, she did lose two sons. One took his own life a couple years ago, about 10 years ago. Um, and she said she lost a 10-year-old, like her first son, her firstborn was 10 years old when he died by a car accident. So that's pretty heavy, y'all. That's a lot to lose two sons, two children. You know, that's a heavy load to carry. And she says that she pretty much went into herself and didn't talk about it and didn't deal with it. And that was her defense mechanism, you know? Everybody deals with things differently. And that's the way she dealt with it. So after the heaviness, they decided to lighten the load and get back to work. The girls continued to work with the producers and the songwriters, and ultimately they did what they had to do. Dank sat for her session. The producer thought that she did really well, even though she didn't really care for the beat. Queen Izzy had a little bit of trouble initially because she likes to pre-record her work, but she ended up getting it together. Rocky was rather eager, and she did what she had to do. And Queen Camille, as usual, was doing too much. But like I said, ultimately, the girls did what they had to do. And it's who Camille, not Queen Camille. Not Queen anything. Anyway, next up is a fur shop. Deb decides to take the girls to a fur shop. And I feel like I've seen Deb in a number of furs. I think fur is her thing, right? She takes the girls to the fur shop so that they could get hair, makeup, and do a little photo shoot, right? They had to pick a piece, get hair and makeup, do a little photo shoot, which they all did with the exception of Dank. Dank had a problem finding anything in her size. She did find like this one little white poncho piece that she really wasn't feeling. I thought it was a cute number, but it kind of fit her. It kind of like it was like choking her. It was kind of tight about the neck area, so I could see why she wasn't interested. The one thing that she did like, it fit over her, like it could fit over her, but she couldn't zip it in the front. She couldn't close it, so that was an option. That wasn't an option. Sorry, she was getting pretty frustrated with not being able to fit anything in the store. Deb was trying to coach her and tell her to ask for what she wants because even though they may not have it in her size right now, it could be made in her size, like, you know, tailor made to fit her. But Dank still seemed like she was frustrated, and also she was tired. She said she wanted to rest, she wanted to sit down. I guess all that standing up, all that walking around was kind of a little bit too much for her. Then, y'all, out of seemingly nowhere, Dank starts spazzing in the store for some unknown reason. Something probably producer provoked, because as far as we could tell, nothing happened to make her start spazzing. She just started spazzing. Upon which Deb comes over to her and asks her why she's yelling. She tells Deb she's frustrated. At which point Deb and Dank starts to get into a little back and forth. The episode ends with Deb telling Dank that maybe this isn't for her. She tells her that she's embarrassed, that she's in her friend's store behaving this way, and that she's not going to embarrass her. Dank says, no, this is for me. Deb says, no, it's probably not. And that's where they ended. That's the cliffhanger for next week. So next week, we should see if Dank stays or goes, because as of now, she's pretty much on the chopping block. Yeah. She might be a fourth person to go home in 24 hours. So that remains to be seen, but that's what it was for this episode. It was a pretty good episode. A lot of funny, little bit of heavy, but it worked. I will be back to review next week's episode 6 of Deb's House, when it airs next week. Until then, you guys, take care, and I'm out.